the difficulty is, I think, to make it a continuous effort. That it's not only for the period that the subsidy lasts, but that you have some paid-for model behind it. And not just talk the talk, but do it in a way that's also for publishers and also for researchers, but also for artists. Where is here the interest for the artists in this initiative? So most scholars that are attracted to this initiative, they are on a payroll by university. Artists are not. You are not. The musicians tonight are not. So they have an ad hoc kind of activity. They may be paid for or not paid for, get a few €100, and they go their own way. What happens then? So is it sustainable? So a publisher typically takes a longer view on things, and he wants to create some publishing activities that will last a few generations, and not only as the length of the subsidy in years. And that is a problem that has to be addressed initially.
If co-creation will solve a problem per se, I don't think so, but I think co-creation is always needed, because there's no sole restricted source of knowledge. It's only there when it's shared and when it's indeed seen as more inclusive than we do today. And then I mean, with research, it's not restricted to academia at all. Research is what so very many people do, to start with artists. Maybe different formats, but they do research. And what we share is precisely this curiosity, and in that also learning from each other, and no hierarchies as far as it's possible. So no hierarchies in my knowledge is better or more worth than yours, because it might be just different. And in that case, I think we should indeed open up to many more forms of knowledge production. I heard already a few, but one is also what is there from emotion, intuition, tacit knowledge, knowledge that you know only when you know your materials, when you know your instrument. Every artist, every performing artist immediately understands and immediately knows that if you do not have it entirely in your fingers and know an instrument and the instrument knows you, you're ending nowhere. This is a sort of accumulative knowledge production where co-creation is needed. If that will solve open access, I think it will make open access incredibly much more interesting. And maybe precisely a place, a Fundgrube, where you can go and find all kind of things that you would never find otherwise. Because there is this heuristics of going from one to the other without actually knowing how the jumps go. And I think in that respect, if it's challenging, it will be used, and then it's worth having it. And it might also be more sustainable. The more people there, the more different people there, the more it will endure.